Welcome, food travelers. I'm Micah.
And I'm Simon.
We are back in Seattle and we're headed down south to a buffet called Mizuki Buffet.
15-minute drive south of downtown Seattle, so not too far. It's a place I know we've been here before, but that was a while back. I'd gotta say, at least minimum 3 or 4 years, but I think even longer than that. So I was hoping, this place would be kind of what I remembered, and at the time it was really good. So hopefully, when we came to this visit, I was hoping for the same thing.
Yeah, this buffet has definitely been a while since I've been back here. At the time of recording, the hours of operation is from 11 a.m. to roughly 9 p.m. and the price for each adult is about $20.99 a person for lunch, and that is what we came here for right when they opened at around 11 a.m.
Yeah, that's usually kind of what we try to aim for, since, it's always just nicest to be able to film things without getting in people's way and being able to kind of go around and capture the food that we can. So that's usually something we try to do. And if you hadn't noticed, of course, from the name of the buffet itself, this is an Asian buffet. So generally there are more Asian type foods that they're offering. I would say there's probably about 85% of the food that they have is Asian food, and the rest is kind of a mix of other things, including Western.
Yeah, I agree with you, Simon. One other thing I did want to note here is in terms of paying for this buffet, it is something that you would pay after you're done with the buffet. It's different from the other two buffets that we went to. With Feast and with Falls buffet, is something that you would pay as you enter the restaurant. So if you wanted to watch those episodes, you see that down in the description below.
I wouldn't say, compared to at least 2 other buffets that we've been to, that they're really separated by stations. It's more you're kind of moving on to different foods as you kind of go along, rather than, okay, here's a meat station here and here is this type of station. The only really discernible stations that I could kind of pick up on was kind of the dessert station and the sashimi stations.
Yeah, I agree with you, Simon. Those are the only 2 sections that are definitely separated. I was kind of disappointed with this buffet in terms of the selection. Even though we're here right in the morning time, I kind of feel like they could have packed the dishes a little bit more too.
Yeah, I agree with what you said there. One of the things I did notice was that they actually had a lot of kind of signs up saying, please kind of grab the amount of food that you're able to eat. So I'm kind of thinking that, with the current economic situation, with the inflation and high prices, I'm pretty sure the cost of the products have gone up, and so they're definitely kind of paying attention to pricing. So I think they definitely have been affected by it. So that's probably why they're kind of putting out plates that aren't quite 100% full, or doesn't have that beautiful presentation with kind of this huge full plates. And so they're just kind of watching certain things and seeing if people would just take a little bit here, a little bit there, and then when they need to fill it back up, they'll do it.
Yeah, I think that could be a reason why they do it that way, and maybe that's why they have people pay at the end too, just to see if you're wasting food, and you might get charged with a surcharge for wasting the food too. So moving on, Simon here, what were some of the items that you were excited to try or that you were looking forward to?
Personally, I didn't really have anything that came in that I was actually thought I needed to have this. I couldn't really remember anything from the prior time, so kind of coming to approach this one, it was just whatever was available and whatever I felt like. I tried to grab a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but overall there wasn't really anything that I wanted for sure. One of the items that, as I was going through the walkthrough, that I thought, okay, this looks pretty good, was the pork belly. So I did grab that. Was there anything that kind of stood out for you?
Yeah, definitely. So every single buffet that I've been to so far, I've been grabbing these sauteed shrimp. I definitely wanted to try those, and just to see how they compare with the other places. I think in terms of flavor-wise and everything, it wasn't as great. It wasn't also as hot as well. It was okay, but I'm just glad to see it available.
Yeah, I think from what I remember in the past when we came here and ate to kind of now, I can kind of see a decline. And one of the things, I don't want to be so harsh because with everything that's happened, it's been really tough for businesses. And so, it's definitely not easy to be running a business this day and age. But at the same time, we've been to so many buffets that, we still do see buffets that are run really well. And one of the things I also wanted to point out with you'll see in the video is the pork belly. The meat itself, it was really good. I really enjoyed the flavors. It tasted really good. The one issue I really had was the pork skin. I really like crispy pork skin or chicharron, pretty much any style, but in this case it was really, really, really difficult to bite into. It was pretty much like trying to chew on leather, and so that part kind of took me back, and I was kind of surprised that they didn't quite crisp it up like they should have. That part kind of disappointed me, but the meat itself was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I think one item that I was disappointed in was the baby back ribs. I thought the pieces that I got were on the dry side, and even though they put so much sauce on it, it didn't really have any like smoky flavor or anything, even like liquid smoke or something, right? But I think it was just a little bit on the dry side. It was kind of disappointing.
I don't doubt you on that for sure, but I think I either got lucky or you got unlucky because the piece that I actually grabbed, I thought it was fine. When I took a bite, it was moist for me, and pretty much, I didn't have any issues. And you'll see in the video when I took a bite of the piece of rib I got, and for me, it was fine. So I think either case, it's one of those things where, for a buffet, you definitely do still want to pay attention to the items you grab because, with all foods, not every single piece is prepared equally. So, you want to grab the best you can.
And then moving on here to the dessert walkthrough, you see there's not that much choices for this buffet. They do also have an ice cream section as well. But, I mean, in terms of overall choice and the plates they give you, which are these paper plates, I was kind of disappointed on that. I kind of feel like for a buffet, you should still get the normal plate size so you can fill it up, but I guess because of how much selection they have, they probably took the lesser choice.
Yeah, and for me, for some reason, nothing really looked that appealing to me. It was kind of your general items, small cakes and puddings and things like that, and so, I don't do it too often, but in this case, I actually just went with grabbing fruit, and it was actually a good surprise because at least one of the fruits I really enjoy is cantaloupe, and they did have the cantaloupe there available, and it was actually really good. It was nice, crispy cantaloupe, fresh. It tasted really good, nice and sweet. So it was actually something that I really did enjoy, which was kind of a surprise as I, didn't grab your traditional dessert and went for the fruit instead.
Yeah, I think that probably would have been a better choice. I probably should have done the same. Just eating through these few items that I got. I think it was like coconut cake, this strawberry cake, and then this green pudding thing. It was kind of disappointing. It was either like really generic tasting or it was just disappointing.
Yeah, I can see. I know as we were filming through, you weren't quite satisfied with these desserts. And what makes it even more difficult is when, we've been to so many buffets, and so when you run into those great desserts, you can't help but just compare to what you had at other places. And when something kind of falls short, that expectation that you have just kind of gets dashed and makes it, not a happy experience as you wish it would be.
Yeah, I think another item here that I should have mentioned earlier, but I felt like the sushi rolls, they could have used like crispier skin too, like for that seaweed. It was just so soggy. It was just hard to bite into on that too.
Yeah, I agree. That's one of the things about rolls that's difficult for me to grab, especially with buffets. It's, they have to pre-make everything. They got to make a lot in terms of quantity. So they end up making it earlier. And to me, it just it's almost like the seaweed becomes a second ingredient that is not important at all. It's just there because it has to be there. One of the reasons why I really do enjoy, at least in Korea, and you can find it now in the States and other places where you have gimbap, where they separate the seaweed with the actual rice and everything else. It keeps it from getting soaked and keeps the seaweed from getting, moist and dry to keep that crisp texture to it. But overall, I'd say for the price of the buffet to what it is, if you're nearby, it's not a bad place to go to. But if you want something a little better, I would say check out Feast Buffet, which is not too far away, about a 10-minute drive away, and you'll see the link for that in the description box below. And that would be probably a better choice if you want something with a little bit more quality.
Yeah, I agree, Simon. I think if you are looking for a buffet and you just want better food, definitely make that 10-minute drive. It's definitely worth your time.
And to wrap up the episode are our notables, and unfortunately for this episode we did not have any notables. If you've enjoyed the content you've seen, don't forget to support the channel and hit like and subscribe. And if you want to see additional pictures of food and our travels, go over to our Instagram page and follow us there. And thanks for watching.